Hello everybody, this is Queen Rena, High Priestess, Mama Universe, and today I'm coming to you with another video. It's actually a review of a movie that I watched last night, Jordan Peele's new movie, which is Us. If you watched several or, some other reviews, you'll know that Jordan Peele's movies always have some type of hidden message, some double meanings, triple meanings. And so I believe that this new movie that he created has, several different meanings, hidden meanings. Like the movie Us could also be said to be called also U.S., United States, talking about the United States as well. So, I mean, it just depends on what you relate to more. And so, and also the hidden meanings are several different hidden meanings. Some people say that it's a hidden meaning between politics and religion because they reference Bible verses like Jeremiah 11:11, and that could also be a good hidden meaning. I think that two hidden meanings stand out the most, for me. And one of them is the movie is talking about the higher class and also the lower class. Because if you watch the movie, if you haven't watched this movie, you don't watch this this video because I have a few spoiler alerts. So it's best for you to go watch the movie first and then watch this. So the higher class was the people who's living out in the lights. They were living good and being happy, eating good food and things like that. And then the lower class, they were living underground, living in a lower self, and they pretty much had to mimic what the higher class was doing. So if the higher class was eating good food, they were eating nasty, bloody raw rabbit, which in the Bible you're not supposed to eat rabbit. And also if the higher class was opening Christmas presents, the lower class was, opening and messing with something that's crazy or something. So there was, low vibration. It wasn't doing as good as what the higher class was doing. And so this, had some really good meaning of what's been going on in the United States and pretty much all over the world of what higher privileged people have been doing, having a good time, and with the lower privilege, lower class, lower people who's not privileged, what they've been having to endure. And so, so that is one meaning there. And so you can, take that meaning for however you want to take it for you. And then there's another meaning that I like to resonate a little bit more with because it's a meaning where it's something that you can do for yourself because you can't always control great masses of people, but one thing you can do is control and change things about you that you can actually change. If things that you can't change, let that go, make peace with it. But things that you can change, then you need to find it in yourself to change that. And so that's why I resonate more with this, because this is something you can change. And I like to resonate more with this video, meaning this is a movie about your higher self and your lower self. So, for example, your higher self, like you in your higher state of existence, you're living life, you're doing, good things that, of that was good for you. And then your lower self will be not living life, trying to mimic, whatever is saying, whatever you would do as your higher self, or mimic whatever it sees someone else do, as a higher self. Kind of like if you see some people doing something on TV that you're like, oh, that's good, and you mimic that or whatever, just mimicking something. That's what your lower self does. Like the ego mimics whatever you teach it to do. And so with this movie, you'll see, as spoiler alert, so with this movie, you'll see at the end, it tells you at the end where Adelaide, which is the main character, she was actually switched out as a child by her. It says that the people that's in the lower underground facilities, that they're clones. I like to think more of them as a doppelganger, because clones, they can't reproduce, they can't have children. So I would like to think it's, and also the fact that it's more of your higher self and your lower self. Because both you as your higher self can have children, and you as your lower self can have children. It's just your lower self is going to have more messed up children, and that's what was happening. The lower beings, their lower selves was having messed up children. The higher self was having not as messed up, children. And so, and one thing you will know is that if you were like a higher being, like I am, you would know that you need to integrate the two, the higher self and the lower self. You need to work together. And that's one of the things that, if you pay attention in the movie, where the little girl, Red, from the lower self, she said, "Oh, when I saw you, I wanted you to take me with you." But then when she saw the little girl was scared and was like, "Oh," and then she realized, "Oh, this little girl is not gonna take me with her," she choked her out, messed her vocal cords up. So that's why when she got older, she spoke very raspy. She couldn't really speak that good, because she was choked when she was a child. And so, and choked and dragged, and was switched out and dragged in to take her place, and was handcuffed to her bed. And so, and then the little girl who was supposed to be the doppelganger, she went on to live the good life, while the original girl who was left behind had to live a low vibration life. And so, as you watch the movie more, you will see when she revolted, because she was the only one who the ones in the lower tunnels, they realized she was different, that she could dance. They saw that she was able to dance on beat. And also, when you watch the movie, when they was playing that music, I got 5 on it. The mother was off beat with the snapping of the fingers. She was totally off beat, but that was because she was a clone. She was a doppelganger. She was the lower self. The higher self would have been on beat. And so, and also the fact about your lower self and your higher self don't mean your lower self is bad. Like, my lower self is not bad. My lower self is not evil. My lower self actually has a really, really big heart. For good higher vibrating beings, your lower self is not evil. Your lower self is just, what I like to call weaker. Okay. But your lower self, like in the movie, like, just one of the reasons why I make this video is, if you watch the movie, the lower beings were excelling in some of the qualities. So even though they were lower and beings and had lots of problems, the qualities that the higher self had was trying to develop, they weren't able to develop. They were higher beings, but they weren't able to develop some qualities such as the father, Gabe. He was always trying to be macho. But he wasn't good at it. And the mother, she was a clone. So, and then the daughter, she was supposed to run real good. She didn't want to develop that ability. The son, he was trying to do some magic trick. I don't know why they let him play with fire. I was like, why is he letting this child play with fire? So I was like, you should not be letting your children do stuff that's dangerous. And as you saw, the lower self boy, he got burnt. So don't let your children play with stuff like that. Okay, or they do dangerous stuff. So, but anyway, his thing was magic trick and playing with fire, and he wasn't able to do it. But the lower self was able to do it, and so, and also the girl, Zora, her lower self, Umbre, she was able to run really fast, and she wasn't able to. So don't knock your lower self, because your lower self is able to do things because of being a lower self, and it's just a certain energy that the lower self has, and it's missed. So sometimes when you're missing something, you're able to bring out other strengths. in you and do something more. And so just like my lower self is really good at being loving. So you know, when I'm like, if you've watched other videos of mine, you know I'm an old soul, and so my higher self actually incarnated in my body when I was like 3 years old. And you know, I was able to, you know, every time I notice myself or pay attention to myself, I always notice how good in my heart is and everything. So you know, my higher self got in my body, and it was like I noticed that, you know, I was, you know, super loving. My heart was super loving. So my human lower self, super loving, super everything, which is what you need to be in order to be powerful in the higher heaven realm. The more loving you are, the more of goodness of your heart is, the more powerful you are in the heaven realm. Because God can't give you people who beings who are not that have that power, that heart power, which is the most important thing, the love in your heart. You can't have all that power if you don't have a good heart. So the more of you develop that good heartness, the more power that you have in the heaven realm. So my higher self couldn't leave me because I had the power. I had the key source to the power. And so and that's why when she saw her, when her lower self saw her higher self, was like, I wanted you to take me with you. It's because you're supposed to help your lower self out. They're like good beings now, lower beings, like evil beings, people kind of, yeah. So like evil beings, their lower self will be evil. Okay, so their lower self will be killing people, all that stuff. That's why you see the other family, the white family, they were already rich and wealthy and stuff. And usually, you know that if you're like super rich and wealthy, a lot of those people, they are, you know, haven't developed their goodness. And because just like in the Bible, it says, it'll be harder for a rich, wealthy person to enter the kingdom of heaven. It's because you need to develop your goodness and all that, you know, love and stuff first before you get all that nice, good material stuff. Kind of like the Bible verse where it says, put God first, and then all the other stuff will be added unto you. So you want to develop your godness, your loving in your heart first, and then you can add all that other stuff. And so a lot of people in this world have not been doing that. They've just been getting all the wealth and stuff like that and haven't developed the goodness inside. And so you want to develop the goodness inside, heal, you know, work on self first, and then you can get all this other stuff. Because once you have the right energy inside, then you can maneuver and do what you need to do and have whatever and do what you're supposed to do on the outside. So it's in and then out, not out and then whatever goes, you know? So, and so that's why the white family, they was able to be killed easily, because their lower selves was, they lower selves was, she cut blood, you cut throat. But also their higher selves wasn't that high either. Like she asked her husband, the white family, she asked her husband, oh, I heard something, can you go check it? He was like, I'm laying down relaxing. He wasn't going to do nothing. And she, you know, she had herself, the white girl, the white woman, she, you know, had self-love issues. Like, oh, I need to fix this on my face. I fix this. So, so whatever, you know, your higher self do, the lower self feels that. And so the lower selves of the white family, she had to cut herself. As you saw in the video, she had to cut herself, self-mutilation, to mimic what the higher self was doing. It was getting some type of surgery or something done on her face to make her face look more young or something. And so that's why it's important to work on self first. Self-love, love of, you know, helping other peoples and stuff like that. But back to the main family, and so it's really important that you're a good person, you're a high vibrating being, you're a person that's, you know, of the heaven realm, that you don't just be like, oh, my lower self, I'm just gonna throw that out. You can't throw your lower self. You can't throw you have to embrace all of you. The thing about your higher selves, it's actually a mixture. And people that's their higher self, they know this. Your higher self is actually a mixture of both your higher self and your lower self. It takes all the good qualities and helps each other out whatever the lower self is not good at, the higher self helps out. Whatever the higher self is not good at, the lower self helps out. Because you saw that the lower versions of the people was good at the running, was good at the magic tricks. It was good at being like the husband. Abraham was good at being strong when the higher self had to fake it. Okay, had to fake it. Some people was getting mad at Gabe. Because he was being fake. They would say, oh, he's so useless. But I'm gonna tell you, the higher self would have got a hurt leg. His lower self would have got a hurt leg and still would have been fighting, okay? And but the higher self, oh, he got a hurt leg, he fall out, he rolling, barely making it. But the lower self, because sometimes the lower self have a certain energy, even though it's missing that goodness and that amazement from the higher realms things. The lower self is able to develop certain things. So you want to work together. Not, oh, I'm going to throw my lower self out. No, you want to integrate and help both sides of yourself work together, because the higher self is actually a mixture of both the lower self. The lower self, higher self is also a mixture of masculine and feminine. It has all power. The more heart you have, the more power that you have. So, I just want to give like a short synopsis of the video. I really liked it. You probably watch it again, definitely, really good. So, also, if you can, I also just wanted to let you know that you've been watching my channel. My I have all natural products for your hair, facial, skin, body. So www.queenrena88.com. Also, I have business consultations, also spiritual healing consultations as well on the same website. So go ahead and check that out. All my information will be below. Again, that website is www.queenrena88.com. Love you guys. Mwah.